guys, welcome into the Parley. I am TLO, Kendall Gill here, and we have today our correspondent from Square Circle Report, Alex himself is in the building. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
He sat and watched the fight with us here in Chicago, but in Washington, D.C., Gervonta Davis does take care of business, beating Hector Garcia by TKO in round 8. We saw in the post-fight interview from Hector that he stopped because he couldn't see from his right eye from the hit that Gervonta had gave him. So, Kendall, I'll start with you first. What's your first reaction from this fight?
Well, I think it was a perfect fight, as I mentioned before, for Gervonta Tank Davis to prepare for Ryan Garcia, who he is scheduled to fight possibly in April or May. But I thought that Garcia was made a great account for himself. He's a champion as well at 130 pounds. I think that it sharpened Gervonta Davis' skills. He had to roll a lot of punches. He had to work on his defense. He had to produce a lot of head movement. But what I was most impressed with Gervonta, we all think of him as a power puncher, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his skill level, the way that he rolls punches, the way that he can counter. I think that he is becoming, now he's a totally complete fighter.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely is. And Alex, I'll ask you, when we see him, he was fighting a southpaw, something that doesn't usually happen when he's fighting, right?
Right.
With most boxers, I think that's the case. But we saw him still win, right? Took a while. You saw there was maybe, I don't want to call it rust, but there was some work that had to be done. But he did prevail. So how'd you feel about that?
No, it was good. He even said it before that this was one of his toughest opponents that to date. He was an undefeated fighter, Dominican, and he fought Garcia. He fought Colbert and won the upset of the year pretty much last year. No one seen, he came out of nowhere, and I mean, he beat him convincingly, and so Gervonta wasn't going to take him lightly, and that's why the fight started off a little slow, but then it started going, But yeah.
Yeah, and I also see when you look at Gervonta, he took this fight as a tune-up fight, right? When the first was announced, we all thought tune-up fight. He even said it was a tune-up fight, but that usually happens in boxing. You start to get to know the other boxer, and you're like, okay, you got to be worried about some things. But the question really is here, Kendall, was the tune-up fight good for Gervonta? And will it help him with Ryan?
Absolutely. First of all, it's a stay busy fight. When he goes into the fight with Ryan Garcia, he would have had a fight just a few months before that, meaning this fight right here. Keeps his skills sharp, keeps his conditioning up. As you said, as you heard him say in the post-fight press conference, he will not be back in the gym this week coming up, but the following week. So he's going to get right back into the gym and get prepared for Ryan Garcia. I absolutely can't wait to see that fight, because all these guys talk all kind of crap and everything to each other. They've been talking this way to each other for about 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to see this fight. Perfect build-up. I thought that Ryan Garcia was going to take a tune-up as well, but he didn't want to risk it. And that's why I give Gervonta a lot of credit. He had the balls to go in here and fight another champion when he knows that he has that fight with the other Garcia waiting for him, which is going to pay way more money than this one.
Yeah, he pretty much risking the bag to get his tune-up in. But like he even said at the end of the fight that he got a couple things he needs to work on. Like he's seen it. Like you said earlier, he was rolling with the punches, everything. He did get caught a little too much, probably for his liking and for his corner's liking, which is probably what he meant by got some things to work on. So this was great that he took the fight, and for the fans, man. I mean, look at that was a sold-out arena, electric. I mean,
he keeps selling it out, man. He definitely keeps selling it out.
But he was home today. He was home, so we hadn't seen that.
Yeah, he was in D.C. Of course, we know Gervonta Tank Davis is from Baltimore, but that's the thing. Anytime you have a fighter that's popular at home, you look at Terrence Bud Crawford. He can sell out any arena in Nebraska.
Right.
That's the place you go when you need a solid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And talking about home and so forth, and this is something obviously that was right before the fight. We were all, shocked that it had happened. But, Gervonta having to deal with some issues in regards to domestic violence and accusations and so forth. A big distraction, I would think, for coming into a fight of this magnitude. How do you feel like he handled it? And do you feel like you saw him still distracted?
No, I don't think he was distracted at all. I thought that he handled himself well. It's unfortunate that these things keep coming up about Javonte, about the domestic violence charges and everything like that. That part of his life he has to work on. I know that everybody says that it was, not true. Some people say that it was not true. But where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something, So that's one part of his life that he has to get. I'm a big fan of Javonte. I just hope that he handles that part so that we don't have to hear that.
Absolutely.
Anymore.
Right. No, like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire. None of us obviously were there, so we don't know. We're just hearing the headlines and reading.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he gets does whatever he needs to do to get his house in order and everything, and we can just talk about his boxing, and we don't have to bring this up anymore.
That's true.
Absolutely, and definitely, we're rooting for all boxers, so no shade coming from the Parley. So over here,
at all.
And we were talking about the big fight. Obviously, that's the next thing that we're looking forward to. We've been looking forward to Spence and Crawford, and this guaranteed money issue that's going on, right? We boxing fans got to be the most distraught fans of sports because we can never get what we want. But this looks promising. Javonte Ryan talking. They've been talking to smack. There's even a set, or not a set date exactly, but there's a time frame for it.
Oscar posted earlier that in April
Okay.
15th.
Okay, so you have a set date.
On social media.
There you go. So we have a set date. So promising. Do you think this fight will happen? And tell me what you think will happen.
I mean, I don't think that there's anywhere else for them to go. I mean, this is the big money fight for them. Where else is Javonte going to go? Is he going to fight Devin Haney? Is he going to fight Lomachenko? Is he, you never know. So I think that the fight that is ready in the oven, baking right now,
That's right.
is the Ryan Garcia fight.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of intangibles with that fight that you have to think about. I mean, will Ryan Garcia use his lightning quick jab? He has power. He has a huge check left hook. Can he use that on Javonte? Will Javonte be able to get inside of Ryan Garcia's range because he's a lot taller than Javonte? He has a longer reach. Will he be able to get inside of his range and do damage like he did to the present Garcia tonight? I mean, can Javonte work his way in there? I mean, we saw him have problems with Leo Santa Cruz. We saw him have problems with a few more other fighters that were longer than him, but he always seems to solve the puzzle.
Yeah. I believe this fight's happening, or Ryan would have wasted an opportunity to get a fight in in the month. So it has to be like a solid goal. And the fight, it's from what I'm hearing, it's going to be at 135. So that might be a little trouble for Ryan making their weight. It might, so he might come in a little weight drain. We don't know. I mean, he's in great shape, but he's just a big kid. He's growing.
Big,
Correct. So we'll see. We'll see how. I think they're both just as fast. Obviously, Ryan got the reach and the height on him, but I just can't count out Tank, man. So early prediction, I know we're months away. But get back to me with during the weigh-in, and we'll go from there. But for now, I think Tank got the staying this fight. I think really helped him to stay busy and sharpen his tools and do what he has to do at the gym.
I think the way that Luke Campbell put Ryan down, Luke Campbell doesn't hit as hard as Tank. If Tank connects with him like Luke Campbell did, and I know I give Ryan all kind of credit for getting up off of the canvas and coming back and winning that fight, stopping Luke Campbell. But if Tank hits him, he's going to finish him. He's not going to be able to get back up. and continue to fight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with that part, but I mean, I look at it.
Yeah, I know
different.
who you going with.
Slightly different.
Yeah, I know who you going
Because
with.
this is what I compare it to. When I see Isaac Cruz, a guy like a short guy like that, but a guy who was just in your face at all times. Gervonta had mad trouble with Isaac, and he barely won, in my opinion. He won, but he barely won.
He did have one hand.
He did.
You gotta give him that. I'm a big Isaac Cruz fan.
No, I got you. But again, even before that, you can see that there was some issues with Gervonta handling a guy in his face that way, even with an orthodox stance.
Yeah.
And then I move over and I look at Ryan Garcia, a guy like that, and I'm like, okay, well, Ryan Garcia, number one, is almost as fast, if not maybe faster than Gervonta. I don't know. I mean, it can be debatable, and also that length. The length. Ryan can box. Ryan can box. You know what I mean. Gervonta can box obviously too, but Rolly is another guy who was winning almost every round that previous fight, and got checked obviously. So that's why when I look at Ryan, I say he has a good chance with Gervonta. Right now, look, ask me before the weigh-in. I got Ryan.
You got Ryan. All right.
Yeah, and Javonte did have problems with Garcia's length tonight.
Even tonight, absolutely. Tonight.
First 4 or 5 rounds, it took him a while to figure him out. But that's the thing. I think that he will eventually figure Ryan Garcia out and get inside on him and start unleashing body shots, things that have never happened to Ryan Garcia, things that he's never seen before inside that ring.
This division is as stacked as the 2010 era welterweight division. Remember that when all the welterweights were hot. This is what this division is from 135 to 140. But I feel like these guys eventually got to move up.
They do.
All of them.
All of them.
They got to move up, and I feel like they're all staying stagnant to this division, clinging on maybe just the money, whatever the case may be. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, why is this taking so long?
I think if they get this fight done, it's gonna just get everyone else going. I think Devin Haney actually started it, leaving Matchroom, not signing a full deal with Matchroom, and going with Top Rank and getting those belts, becoming undisputed, and now he's got one more fight with them, and it's probably gonna be him and Lomachenko. Right. And then if we get this one, it'll be Gervonta and Garcia. Yeah. So then after that, everyone else is going to be like, wait a minute, the Prograis and Teal are going to start fighting. I think this is the new era
transition.
Now.
We're about to hit the transition.
The Mayweather era is like faded out, and this is like what the boxing fans have been waiting for.
Yeah, and also we throw Shakur Stevenson in there too.
Oh, absolutely.
How could we forget him?
Absolutely.
Well, apparently he's Puerto Rican. I had no clue.
Oh, I didn't know he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he has that patch, that Puerto Rican patch on his trunks.
Okay.
I was like, why?
All right.
Nah, I know, my bad, Shakur.
Okay. But also too, you were saying that they're moving up in weight, so they're going to be fighting each other for a while. Like they're all young. And so as long as they're all moving up, they'll be moving up together, and there's plenty of fights. Throw Rolly back in there, he fought well,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it was good. A good boxing match. I mentioned during the fight, Kendall, these were two pro boxers with elite boxing skill going at each other. I mean, the feints, the movement, the footwork from Gervonta, It looked beautiful, honestly.
It did. I mean, it was a beautiful, brutal chess match, what we saw tonight. Right. And, I really appreciate the skill level, the hard work, the endurance that both of these fighters had to put in order to bring us this entertainment. That's why boxing is my favorite sport. I know I'm a pro basketball player and everything. However, boxing takes precedent over everything for me because of the beauty of it and the brutality of it at the same time.
It absolutely is. The Serrano Taylor fight. I don't think I mentioned you guys. I almost cried at the end of round 10.
Oh, I thought you cried. I thought you cried when Serrano came out and they were playing the music and everything.
Oh, I cried.
All the Puerto Rican flags were flying all over.
It had been a minute since we.
Yeah. You brought back shades of Tito, right?
Man, yes. The answer is yes. So we'll wrap this up here. Obviously, Gervonta again taking care of business. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll see that next fight, and then hopefully we get to see Gervonta fight all these guys.
And like you said, I think that everybody's gonna fight everybody because there's too many fights to be made. There's too much money to be made.
Yeah, they're not leaving that money on the table.
They're not leaving money on the table. They're gonna fight each other.
Right, and this was just remind everyone, these are two undefeated fighters fighting today.
Yeah.
So, you know, like they both put their O's up and they ain't got it on, man.
Yeah.
Gotta respect it. Before we do dip out of here and do our normal Dillio, Jake Paul left boxing.
Yeah.
Is that what happened, or what I heard of one fight deal with Nate in boxing, MMA? What's going on here?
I have no idea what this guy's doing. You know, I mean, here I am, 54 years old, still training hard, still everything, still wanting that fight, still, you know, in communications with his promotions company, Most Valuable Promotions, and still we can't get the deal done. But I'm done chasing him. You know, it's obviously he does not want to fight somebody with experience. You know, but I do give him credit. I do give him credit for getting better. I thought that he looked better against Anderson Silva, but still Anderson Silva fought like an MMA guy. He didn't fight off of his back foot, didn't use his jab properly. And I tell you, the first person that beats Jake Paul is going to be a guy that knows how to use his jab. That's all you need against him. You know, keep him at distance. When he comes inside, make him walk through the neighborhood, punish him. That's what you have to do. So, you know, I don't know what he's doing with this MMA thing. Maybe he's trying to get a fight with Nate Diaz. Want to fight there and then come back to boxing. Who knows? I don't knock his hustle. Guy's doing well. I just want him to fight somebody that can give him a run for his money.
Like you, right?
All
And
right.
he ain't gonna do that.
They laid the blueprint out.
He would have
now,
done. He
man.
would have done it already.
How do you feel like Jake leaving or supposed?
Oh, he's not going anywhere. There's too much money for him to go anywhere.
More in boxing, right? Like there's got to be more
Yeah.
money in boxing. Than
I'm sure PFL paid him nice to, you know, he promoted
Yeah, they
the
had to.
hell out
Oh,
of
of
it.
course.
So
Of course.
yeah, the money where he goes, there's money, man, or he ain't going. So he's-
Well, that says everything there. Again, Javonte Davis does win in the eighth round, by TKO, beating Hector Garcia in his hometown, Washington, D.C. out there. He's from Baltimore, but they were in Washington. And it was a good matchup, great matchup, and we hope to see more coming up in this division and moving on up. This is The Parley. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, to our Twitter, Instagram. Everything's on the description box. Do so, because we love boxing.
That's right.
What's up, guys? TLO here for The Parley. 15-year NBA veteran Kendall Gill there.
sir.
Don't forget to subscribe to everything you see there in the description box. We want to hear from you guys. And, of course, hit that bell for the notifications. Like that, you know what's going on.
Hit it.
By the way, just want to make sure you know, Tyson Fury has never lost a fight to Deontay Wilder.
And this is untrue. He lost the first
I
fight.
don't even want to hear it, bro.
He lost the first fight.
I don't even
You
wanna
know
hear it, bro.
He lost the first one.
He did it, bro.
He lost the first one.
He did it, bro.
You have yet to watch that fight with me. He lost the last two, but not the first.